Hi, this is Mrs. Grafton. Today we're going to be looking at how to respond to the work of Deb Weiers. She's a mixed media artist who focuses on developing the identity of a person by depicting attributes of their personality in her abstract artwork. She uses colour, expression and scale to show emotion and the identity of her characters. In order for you to respond to the artist, I've created the following resource pack for you to use this lesson. Please note I've created a pre-prepared background for you as a starting point. The background's very free. I've used pencil and a little bit of oil pastel. I was much more about mark making and working on wet paper with watercolours. I did consider the colour, and you might want to relate the colour to the emotion of the character that you're trying to show the identity of. It's lots of fun. It takes probably about 5 minutes prior to the lesson. So at the beginning of the lesson, I asked you to create a blind contour drawing using continuous line of the person sitting next to you. You might want to refer to these now to give you some ideas about face shape, but again, it's very expressive, very loose. You can see here that I'm drawing into it features, and I'm using the sheets that I've provided in the pack as well, so that you can look and think about what the emotion is that you would like your character to be depicting. Here I've used 2 different emotions for each eye. The nose shape, obviously you can affect, it's completely up to you. But again, it's very loose, it's very free, just working back into it. And now I'm beginning to collage little bits of paper, considering, what would look good where, sort of old vintage papers and maps, brown paper, anything you've got really sort of that's probably going for the recycling bin would be useful at this stage. So the next stage is working back into those features, and you're going to need those help sheets in front of you so you've got something to follow. Although she does quite a stylised look to her work and abstract, they do have the realism of the features. So things like on the eyes, including the tear ducts and light spots, those sorts of things are going to emphasise your drawing. Thinking about the scale, so if you want big eyes, do you want eyes that show shock? They're going to be wide, or excitement, or if you want sort of a shy person, do you want them maybe looking down, tired, hooded eyelids, older? Really consider what you're trying to show. You're trying to show several emotions, and then you can alter the features accordingly. The next stage is adding the watercolour, and don't worry about working wet on wet at this point. It's working quite fast, and the mediums might bleed together. That does show the signature look of the artist as well. Then we're probably going to go back into it with quite a few extra mark making, and I really want you to consider thinking about layers. So more is more in this case rather than less is more. There's about sort of 3 processes, 3 layers, I feel, to really get the look of the artist. So we're on to the final stages now. It should have taken you about 20 minutes to get to this stage. And this stage is all about definition and refinement and giving it that signature look like Deb Weiers. In your packs, you'll find a black fine liner and a white chalk pen. And I want you to use those to do the light spots, go over continuous line drawing, really add definition to your drawing. Consider the light spots in the eyes and the lips. And then it's going about those circles around the eyes to give it that sort of signature look. And mark making, just going over the top now with some watercolour, just to give it that edgy look. A few final touches, going around the lips with a white chalk pen. A little bit of mark making. We've got our completed piece. So very free, very quick, but it shows a definite character. So after I created this character, I then went on to create a further 3 characters using the same techniques. This time I just considered different compositions, mark making and colours, depending on what emotion I wanted the character to show and what their identity was. And I think you'll agree, I've ended up having 3 completely different identities. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the task, and I'm excited to see what you produce.